Hey everybody, it's Marcus again. This is my geography and practice presentation. The scenario that I chose was to look at places of soul. The TikTok creator I am working with is really passionate about finding what connects everyone and educating locals and foreigners on how we have more in common with each other than we realize. Now he is starting a project called Places of Soul, where he's interviewing Indigenous elders about what places, physical or spiritual, that has had the most significant impact on their senses of self and identity, as well as asking them for any advice or lessons they wish they had known in their youth and wish to pass on to the viewers. We therefore need to do site scouting for any interesting culturally appropriate backdrops for the film in itself. The first thing I like to do is to engage in some archival research, where I would look for different Indigenous elders that we feel would fit best for the video's overall message by looking at either their history or morals and values. Doing so really offers an organic, meaningful message to the viewers while creating a sense of understanding within the different Indigenous elders. I think this project is a way to send a message and educate everyone involved about these different cultures and how they operate. And I think doing this archival research will be a huge step in accomplishing this goal. The next step, I think, one of the most important steps is to conduct various interviews with the potential Indigenous elders, where we gain even more information about the culture and get a sound understanding of what boundaries we can and cannot cross when we're looking for these different physical or spiritual monuments that has a deep connection to these Indigenous elders. Cultural appreciation will be one of my main focus points for this task to really ensure we as a company incorporate the utmost integrity and respect throughout this process to eliminate any potential detrimental actions that we may cause to the culture itself or even the spiritual or physical monuments that they point us to. Nevertheless, I want to make this opportunity to gain a real solid foundational relationship with the elder, his or herself. So trust is really gained, and they understand that we have every positive intention for this project without displaying any harmful content to the physical or spiritual monuments and to the culture itself. Once we understand the boundaries throughout the interview portion, I like to make sure that through photography and videography, I am capturing all the necessary elements that make these cultures unique, whether through different arts, architecture, food, or even dialogue. Being able to show the viewers what goes on in daily life is an excellent aspect of the background. I also wanted to incorporate different field methods because I think it is essential to document different sceneries or landforms that cultivate the landscape in which these cultures inhabit, and also looking at these different spiritual and physical monuments that really have a deep connection with these different cultures or these different cultural elders, indigenous elders, which is another element of background for the viewers that is super prominent when trying to really educate the viewers to understand different cultures and the different spiritual and physical monuments that these cultures or indigenous elders really hold accustomed to. One justification I think helps with this task is to really look at Dr. Janice Berry's work. She is a professor at the University of Waterloo, where she teaches numerous classes about urban planning of cultural appreciation. I recently learned about her work last week through another class of mine, where she implements remembrance of indigenous cultures through urban design and incorporates many different artifacts, which really symbolizes these tribes within modern structures to really pay homage. Although her way of expressing design differs from the task at hand that we are dealing with today, I think the art of visually portraying different cultures and what they stand for through a lens with videography and photography really cultivates these different indigenous tribes and how they operate and go about life. And so we can really look at some of the spiritual and physical monuments that we have really talked about throughout this presentation that really has these deep connections with these indigenous elders so that we can really capture some of the artifacts or different landforms that they possess through these photography and videography lens and really show the viewers what it's all about. These are my references. I really appreciate you guys taking